I'm at the shop again. And again with the lineman. I'm gonna show you what happened. So once I started driving like this with front axle forward, I noticed that the rear of the trailer was trying to go into the ditch, you know. And I remember that the guy hit me, right? The guy hit me in here. You see this? In Dryden, when I was parked. And I only notice it now that this thing is basically trying to go like this. So he knocked it like this. So the whole axle, instead of being straight, it's now like this. So this thing was trying to go this way. Pretty much like this, what you see here. And which is okay. Then it just goes crooked. But the problem is that it makes the trailer to go sideways, right? And that's what causes causes wear and tear on the trailer. And so I was yesterday at the petrol over there where I slept in Gaston, and I got new inspections. I did inspections on 3 trailers. They charged me 55 bucks. No, 52, 52, 52. So the whole trailer, to inspect the whole trailer is $52. To inspect this axle is $52, and this one is $52 US, which is kind of like, you know, but that's what you gotta do when you have all these flip axles. And now I'm gonna have one more, right? Now what happened is, and how you can tell, you see like this one, right? I know this one is all aligned okay. Look at this hole in here. You see the hole is just off 90 degrees, right? And it should be pretty close on the other side. You see? Just off. And so what this does, when you loosen this nut and you turn this clockwise, this brings the axle forward, right? And so what I noticed on this one, on this axle, that hole was here, and on the opposite side it was right close here. So basically you can clearly see that the axle was pushed back, you know. And so when I did these nuts, of course you're supposed to replace them. They're like one-time use, because you see that round bolt in here? So there's no way to tighten it unless you use some special tricks. And so we managed to make it pretty tight, because the guy climbed underneath and he held it with a wrench, and I had a big socket wrench in here, and it's pretty tight. It's not going anywhere. Anyway, so spend an hour here. So this is oh yeah, and so when I asked him at the petrol, so I said, annual inspection, please fix my my winch, the wrench, I mean the jack. The guy couldn't fix it. He just greased it. He says it's too greased, but it still doesn't want to work. He couldn't fix it. And then when I asked him to do this, he says he doesn't have the proper tools. He couldn't even, you know, he had a adjustable wrench, but it was very short. He didn't have any extension tubes, so he could not do it. And he says, go to these guys. See, it's a pretty big shop. It's called Big Rig Repair. So they do like 24/7 over on the road, you know, emergency repair. Then they have the shop. Jesus, it's so cold. And so I called them yesterday. I said, hey, can you guys do this? I said, I don't need any alignment. I know what I have to do because I downloaded, I found a Hendrickson guide how to align axles, and actually now, you know, it was good. I learned something. I know how those little donuts work. And yeah, it says clockwise moves the axle forward, that side. Counterclockwise moves the axles back. And I checked other axles, and sure enough, on pretty much all axles, that little square hole on both sides is pretty much in the same position, just maybe a little bit, couple of millimeters off, and that's how you align it, right? You just put a little, like a socket wrench without the socket in there, and you can move that little donut clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on which way you want to move the axles. And I'm pretty sure I saw that this side, the last axle, was knocked out, right? So it was like this because the guy hit me in this side, right? And so the guy loosened this side. Perry, the guy, like, he was so cold. I said, if you want, I can back inside, but they didn't have room, you know. And he was freezing. I said, get a jacket. Look, I have 2 jackets, right? So finally he got a jacket, and we loosened the left side, the driver's side, the one that was knocked out, and we managed to move that donut closer to the right, and then we managed to tighten it. Then I said, do you think you can find it in yourself to do the other side? We need to move the other side clockwise too, you know, so that it goes like, I mean, it was like this, now it goes like this, right? And so we did that, and it's all tight. I don't have to change the bolts, because especially on the right side, I saw that when he was tightening it, the head of the bolt was not moving, you know. So I'm pretty happy about this. So anyway, yeah, I better get out of here. This guy is backing right into me over there. And each time when I'm hit, who do you think hits me? It's drive-in guys that don't know how to drive. See, that guy he needed 2 football fields to back somewhere. Hold on, let me go on the road there, and I'll stop there. And I just talked to BBK about this 90mm thing, and they say, oh, we got them on thousands and thousands of vehicles and everybody's happy. He says just read the reviews, and then, but when I look on YouTube, I don't know, I see quite a few people have issues. I think the quality control is not there the way it should be. But basically they said the guy who handles returns, he's now in California, he'll get back to you to do so. Yeah, basically I don't want a refund anymore. Like, it's still, you know, I used this on Ford Mustang. I had on the Mustang, I went from 80 to 85mm, but this is 90. I think it's way too big, and so now instead of a return and a refund, I'm asking them to just let me return this, and you send me a 85mm throttle body. And I just wanted to give a shout out to the Big Rig Repair. Very nice guys, you know, can do a service on the road, emergency repair. They have a shop here, so it's Anderson, Indiana, just north of Indianapolis. and they spent an hour. The guy spent an hour in this freezing cold outside, and they charged me 95 bucks plus tax, I think 95. So yeah, and it's 24-hour road service, but they have a bunch of trucks and pickup trucks and big trucks that can go on the road, but of course that's expensive, right? So I like that you can come to their shop, you know, because some of these, like smaller outfits, they say no, mobile repair only, and then of course that's...
This route avoids a road closure in 154 kilometers.
Oh really? That's good to know. All right, and somebody called me as I was outside there, but I'm not sure what this number is. Idaho. Somebody called me from Idaho. The main thing is I keep my freight broker happy, so I sent him an email yesterday. I said I reached Gaston, Indiana, and now I send him again, message him. I said I'm leaving Indiana on my way to the shipper. I should be there tomorrow morning, and I better get going because from here it's still probably 400 miles, and time now is 10:51. So I'm just checking my emails over here. So yeah, but that was interesting thing, and I'm gonna comment later, like if I see any difference. Maybe that axle has to go even more. So, but at least this will reduce wear and tear on tires, especially with this big excavator. And once I'm back home, I'll go and do a proper alignment on that thing, you know. Maybe replace the bolts. I don't know. I know those bolts are very expensive because I did that with the trailer. Remember when I had the knockout axle, last axle on the trailer? Now this is the flip axle. So we'll see what happens. And that's I-69 over there. Oh. Not, oh, Jesus, I broke it. That's it. Look at this. Like this stuff. It was already half broken. Now, now I just have two legs. So now I cannot set it down. Son of a gun. Like, I like this thing, you know. I like this little grip, because you can hold it like this, and then you can put it, you can stand it on something. So now I have to use this. I just need to have an adapter for the tripod mount. Or maybe I'll just use the phone, you know, because that's for the phone. I can use my iPhone, I can use my Samsung phone. I got lots of cameras, but yeah, these things don't last very long. So that's a lag from this grip from GoPro, which is like, I forgot, 50 bucks or something. Made in China. Sitting at the Pilot over here, just north of Tennessee border, and I noticed that the alignment, we did not fix it the way I hoped we will fix it. Basically what happened is that when I started driving on the straight, you know, stretch of the highway after the alignment, I noticed that the trailer improved a little bit, but it was still dog walking, dog tracking, whatever. And I was driving and thinking about this, and then I came to Indianapolis, to the entrance to 465 bypass, right? and it's a pretty sharp turn in there from 69 on 465 south, and it's a big angle, you know, like you go like this, kind of like on a racetrack. And I come out of that pocket, FedEx guy nearly hits me, probably reach for his phone or something. You know, when you reach for something like this and you're holding, you turn to steer in the same way where you're leaning. So he went, I don't know, like 1 foot away from my truck, like really veered into me. I honked my horn to get boom, get back, because he was trying to go very fast on the curve. And that's when, you know, when you lose concentration and try to reach for something, that's, you know, because of the curve, your vehicle can go all over the place. I'm telling you, I got really scared. I thought the guy would hit me, you know, like swipe me. But he did not. I probably scared the living heck out of him with my 4 mighty air horns, but I had to do it. It was an emergency. But when I came out of that virage, you know, that curve, I look in the mirror. What the heck? Now my trailer is, before it was going like this, like the rear of the trailer, not of the booster, of the trailer, the rear of the trailer, like axle 2, was trying to get into the ditch. Right now I look in the mirror, axle 2 is trying to get towards the line separating my lane from that lane. Like, what the heck? Am I dreaming? Like, how is that possible, you know? And I'm driving with this furrowed brow, thinking about this, and then 3 minutes later I look in the mirror again and everything is straight, much better than before, like perfect. I look on the left side, I see, you know, how much trail I can see. I look on the right side, the trail is not dog tracking anymore, it goes straight, true straight. And then there was another curve when I was getting back on 65, not back, but first I was 69, then 465 south, and then 65. There was another curve, and again I'm coming out of that curve, and I look, and again I see that the trailer starts dog walking based on what curve, which way the curve was tilted, you know. And that's when it hit me that basically what happened, that's why those bolts are not reusable, you know, because once you undo that big nut, the bolt has no head. It's just like a round head. So because they don't want it to reuse those bolts. And so basically what happened is that, yeah, the guy was able to loosen that nut, and we were able to turn that little donut in there, right, in the proper position, but we were not able to tighten it the same way it was tightened before. And so once I went on this curve, right, even though I'm empty, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened, is that now the axle comes a little bit out of alignment because, you know, of the curve. But then, because again it's not totally fixed, like the alignment is kind of like became fluid, you know. Once I go on a straight, it corrects itself and it's perfect. And also, and that's why I wanted to fix it again somewhere here, maybe find somebody that has these bolts. And I did search, I found a trailer shop in the town where I'm going, but I'm supposed to load tomorrow. I don't have time with this for this BS. So basically I'm gonna fix it back in Canada, because again, once I'm on a straight road, I don't see any dog walking anymore, you know, dog tracking. And especially when I'll have my front axle will be down. So now my first axle on the trailer is up, and that's what causes, of course, this weird movement of the booster, you know, because as soon as it's just a little bit out of alignment, the booster takes over the trailer, because it has 2 axles, whereas the trailer now has 1. But once I put it down and I have a load, this excavator, 80,000 pounds or 85,000, it'll be pushing down on the trailer axle, so it should be okay. I should be okay doing this 850 miles. Два брата-акробата. Two brothers, same company. Car haulers. But I found a cool spot in here. It's like 100 feet long. I'm not in a way, like, oh, you cannot park over there, but where I'm parked, there's no signs. You can park here, and I'm pretty far away from those guys, so they can easily get out, you know. And I like spots like that, you know. But over there I would have to back in there, whereas now I just pulled in, and I made sure that my trailer was more or less straight. So now I can easily leave in the morning. So I'm gonna leave probably around 5 or 6 o'clock. Oh yeah, and I thought I was doing this another run from Ohio to Ontario, but now they're telling me that that's on hold till January, February. And now a guy asked me for a quote from Houston, Texas. It's 1,500 miles empty. So for me, total would be 3,000 miles. So I said, I cannot do it for cheap, you know, like, here's what I want. And the guy said, oh, that's pretty high. But I'm not going to Houston. You know, I have to drive 3 days to get to Houston, Texas for free. It's too far to do it for a cheap rate. So this is it. And maybe I'll do my I have to do my bill of lading today. Just get ready, because I have to show them something, and at least to write down the serial number of the machine, right? Because they want to know, okay, where you're going, you know, what's the serial number you're picking up, or unit number, stuff like that. So basically, yeah, tonight I gotta prepare for loading, print out any paperwork I might need tomorrow. And my truck and trailer are ready. The only thing I got to do is after loading, I'm gonna rehook, and I'm gonna use the machine. I can do it myself, just flip the neck, because if I don't flip the neck, I already know it from previous loads, with the booster in the back, it'll overload the truck, because the booster pushes weight forward. So I gotta move the truck away from the load, and the only way to do that is to use a long neck. And so I know it'll look weird. So I'll be driving with a 2+2 in the back and 184-inch swing radius neck, but I know the weights will be perfect. Nothing will be overloaded. Just I might need a pilot in Michigan, because I might be close to or slightly over 90 feet long, but I'm gonna double check that. I'm gonna measure that. All right, thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll do another video tomorrow. I'll show you loading, and hopefully the weather will be better. So now it was +3, 276 Kelvin, 35 F, which still feels cold. That's why I'm wearing this hat. So ciao.